It's time for The Scraphouse with Austin Lane and Casey Kuhrts on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network.
How about it on a Wednesday, Scraphouse? Live in the Action Sports Jax 24/7 studios. Welcome back, my friend.
Live in living color, man. Good to see you, Casey. It's been a little bit.
It's been a minute.
Yeah.
We had some questionable connection at times. The last week of the show, we had a decent connection, which was cool. Now you're back in 4K, and I'm back in, Motorola camera phone.
Dial up for sure. Casey, I understand, this is Scraphouse. This is a wrestling show. We talk AEW. We talk WWE, obviously. If you want to get out your Sam Darnold stuff right now before we get started, because I know you've been a Sam Darnold proponent for a long time now.
You know me.
You've sung his praises, much to my chagrin, much to my hate and everything.
Oh, yeah.
Sam Darnold right now is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, Casey. I will give you 20 seconds to celebrate if you want it.
I mean, top 5 is too low. Definitely. I mean, we're talking about a guy that is the 1 or 2 best quarterback in the league to start the season. No big deal. Justin Jefferson, sure. Who are the other guys? He's throwing to them. They're catching touchdowns. Rumor has it, I think Josh Oliver even caught one. So shout out to the Vikings for seeing what I've been seeing for a long time. Sam Darnold, the GOAT. Panthers screwed up. Jets screwed up. 49ers, actually, you guys made the right call. Should have stayed with Purdy. Vikings, it worked out. JJ McCarthy, you're never playing, buddy. Bryce Young treatment.
The Pigston prognosticator, Casey Kuhrts, man, in the house, doing what he does for another round. Nice job, dude.
Hey, man, I almost wore my Sam Darnold jersey, too.
Oh, I can't believe you didn't, honestly.
Yeah, I thought about it too
Just
late.
to gloat.
Rumor has it, though, I'm going to be here tomorrow with you and Brent, so maybe I'll break it out for tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan, man. The boys are back in town. I like it.
Yeah, that's what we're going to try to do. Right now, we're going to try to talk wrestling for the next 59 minutes on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Let's do it.
We've got Raw, we've got Smackdown. We'll start with Smackdown, and then AEW. If we get their Grand Slam on a random Wednesday, hey, it's Wednesday.
Let's go, man.
That's something, but we'll get to that in a second as we start with Smackdown from, I believe, Sacramento, California.
Okay, thoughts, Casey?
There's a lot of cities.
Sacktown?
There's a lot of cities in California, I assume. It's pretty big.
Yeah.
Sacramento's definitely one of them. They do have the Kings, from what I understand. So
They do?
They had an arena that was ready to be used for something that was at least exciting, unlike Kings basketball, who 2 years ago was exciting.
Yeah.
I don't think it was exciting this year. It's
I'll say this, Casey. I mean, if you want to talk about Sacramento real quick, it's almost like the Jacksonville of California, where we have Miami, we have Tampa Bay, we have Orlando. California's got L.A., they got San Diego. They got other bigger cities. And Sacktown's always kind of lost the mix a little bit, but it's blue collar, it's respectable, it's got its own little charm, just like Jacksonville does.
So those are our people, basically.
These are our people, Casey, so show them some respect, please.
Well, they were treated to definitely a performance. I'm not sure if it was a good one.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. We'll talk about it.
You start off the show with what you've been starting off with, and that's the entrances of the performers, the wrestlers, the superstars, if you will. Bloodline wasn't having it. Apparently, them boys are too good to go through a metal detector.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Fatu and the boys, just absolutely not having it. I believe, though, the main thing that really starts it off is LA Knight defending his United States Championship against Andrade.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
All right. The match overall, the match was fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Sure.
I feel like LA Knight was showcased pretty well, but and we've seen this a couple times from LA Knight now, when he jumps up on that top rope and tries to go for the the power slam and everything, kind of got slipped up a little bit, little bit of a botch, and then it's never a good thing, Casey, when you have a damn good match, but the talk of the match was the awkward handshake, hug, whatever that was after it.
Yeah.
And LA, listen, I don't know if they're trying to set up something for the future, but it looked like genuine animosity, and LA Knight was genuinely pissed off that he had to shake Andrade's hand.
Yeah, first of all, the match itself, again, I agree with you, is fast-paced. It wasn't bad. I don't love that spot by LA Knight because I feel like it never looks super clean.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe drop that from the you're not gonna. You can't. But, I mean, it doesn't always look super clean, so I will give you that. I thought Andrade was good. And, yeah, that whole thing was odd. It just, I don't know. It just never felt great, I feel like. Just even the story part of it. I understand how you got to this point.
Sure.
And, again, when you're talking about the United States Championship, you're not building for the most part. I mean, you did with Logan Paul because, Paul's Logan Paul. But you're not building like month storylines. Like you're kind of setting these things up. But like Carmelo Hayes Andrade is more juice and more, I don't know if story's the right word, but there's more there than what you had here, I think. And that's kind of a problem. And I'm not really putting that on Andrade, so I guess I'm putting it on LA Knight.
No, and you kind of have to a little bit, right? I think in terms of in-ring work, obviously Carmelo Hayes, I think, has a little step above LA Knight. I think LA Knight's kind of like more like your traditional wrestler. He does kind of like he gets the crowd involved, does like the elbow drops and everything. It's they're moves that they're crowd friendly, and then they're not necessarily the most difficult things to pull off.
Sure.
But the whole jump to the top rope thing and with the body slam, like that is hard to pull off. And like I said, we've seen it a couple times. And here's the thing: there's no room for error with that.
None.
Like it's almost like you have to ask yourself: is the juice worth the squeeze when you perform that type of maneuver? Because if you do jump up and you miss the rope, then you're going to slip, you're going to fall, and it's not going to look the best. It's not going to be aesthetically pleasing, if you will. So once again, like I appreciate El Idolo, how he kind of, I feel like put, LA Knight over a little bit, which had to be done because LA Knight's the champion. They're going to keep the belt on him for a while. He still has the catchphrase. He still has the mic work. But yeah, I feel like with LA Knight, you have to be very particular who you choose his opponents with, because I feel like with his skill set, he can only work with certain types of people.
I agree. And I don't know where you go from here, because here's the thing, like after this, you kind of get Carmelo Hayes and Andrade beefing a little bit backstage. I believe it's announced on Friday we're getting another one of those, which is like 5 or 6. Like
and I thought they were done, Casey. Honestly, like I felt like, okay, we put a bow on it, as Brent Martineau would say, like it's time to move on. But
here's the thing.
At the same time, I'm not mad at it.
You could sell me, if you keep doing this, you could sell me them having a WrestleMania match. No stipulation, nothing special. Just
a straight up match.
Andrade, Carmelo Hayes 64 at WrestleMania Las Vegas. Like you could seriously
this one's
get
for all
there.
the marbles.
Like if they're I don't know, they're tied at
it's 32 and 32.
32 exactly. Like
this is
like
the
that.
grudge match.
Like I was more interested in that than kind of what happened here, which is obviously not a good thing. And when you're talking about what next for LA Knight, dude, I don't know. Like there's nothing really that sticks out to me that because originally I was like, all right, now Carmelo Hayes gets his shot. I'd rather just have this long-term beef with Andrade. When you're talking about LA Knight, like I don't know, dude.
I mean, if you want to get into it, there's a mid-carder right now that's on fire that you could possibly pair him up with, but I'm not sure how that's going to work because you have two faces going toe-to-toe, but this is your boy, Apollo Crews, who I believe was the next match.
Oh, you're talking about, listen.
What is happening with Vinci?
Dude, I'll tell you what's happening. He keeps getting beat by better
you
competition.
Got the picture too.
Look at that. That's 2 in a row for Apollo Crews.
So Giovanni Vinci, to set it up, and if you've seen it, you've seen it. If you haven't, spoiler alert. But Giovanni Vinci had 4, 5, 6 weeks worth of packages.
Long ones.
It's like, okay, long ones, okay.
Multiple minutes.
Vici. I wasn't mad at it, man. Okay, you got your little Italian swag. You got your sports cars. All right, man, let's see what you got. First match, okay, a little bit of a slip up. Gets pinned in literally 3 seconds. Squash match, okay.
Want to know.
Whatever the case. Maybe he learned his lesson. Going back to Apollo Crews for the rematch. Got a little bit of offense off this time for 10 seconds.
Not enough.
And then got rolled up on again.
He did.
1, 2, 3. Vinci's 0-2.
0-2.
What are we doing?
To be. Listen, when you put somebody who in the ring with Apollo Crews, like, it's going to be a debacle. Like, if you're not ready for what you're about to get with Apollo Crews, like, that's what's going to happen. Seconds.
Do you think this is why they didn't put, Roman Reigns against Apollo Crews when Reigns came back? Because you didn't want to have the risk of making Reigns look bad against Apollo Crews, Casey?
See, here's the thing. I didn't get it for years, that Apollo Crews kept traveling every week to SmackDown and couldn't get on TV. I didn't understand it. Yeah. But now it makes perfect sense. He's unbeatable. He's the perfect wrestler. He can't be pinned. So it's like, you couldn't put him in these matches because he would just destroy. Like, you can't put him against LA Knight. Well, I would be fine with it, but you can't do that for the WWE Universe because you're going to see him get pinned in 30 seconds and the crowd's not going to be chanting yeah at him. Like, it's just not going to happen. You can't have it.
I guess, like, a positive takeaway is, Vinci's got a great suplex. Like, that looked good.
Mid.
That's about it. What's the plan, Kasey?
I have no clue what the plan is.
Like I thought, okay, he loses his first one, like he's in a rut. He gets back together with Imperium. He gets back together with, Gunther and everything.
Man, no.
But they're on Raw, so I have no idea what you're doing with Vinci.
He might have to. He's gonna have to change shows because he can't get Apollo Crews off his back.
This is definitely a long game here. Usually I can kind of like foretell like what the plan is. I have no idea what Triple H is trying to do with Vinci. No idea at all.
Yeah.
And what's the payoff going to be? Because this guy has lost 2 in a row now. So like, it has to be some sort of storyline where, he's got to tag with somebody or like have a manager or something where they bring out the best in him. Like they wouldn't have repackaged him, had all these teasers and these promos and everything if they weren't going to use him in some higher capacity.
You would think.
I would hope.
Or maybe this is just the ultimate 5 years overdue push for Apollo Crews.
Maybe this is just the Apollo Crews push that he's been so desperately wanting.
Yeah,
maybe.
Here's the thing. I don't really know what you're doing with Vinci either because it's questionable. I mean, maybe, like, the only thing I see here is, like, and I don't even really see this. This is just kind of an idea.
Yeah.
If Kaiser and Gunther are going to split, does Vinci just get so sick of SmackDown and say, I'm going to Gunther?
To go tag team?
No, he just goes to Raw.
Oh, he goes to Raw.
Like this whole thing is just a setup to get him over there eventually, but he just gets so mad at Nick Aldis and SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean, I think eventually we're gonna get Kaiser and Gunther, going head to head.
Agreed.
And then I wonder that if Vinci kind of
goes with
Kaiser, because you're not gonna put Vinci just with Gunther by himself. Like that makes zero sense. Gunther is fine by himself, and I think Kaiser is fine by himself. But it also makes sense if you want to make them a tag team, they can maybe have a little bit of a run.
Yeah. Listen, all I know is once this match ended, the crowd was chanting one of the most famous lines in cinema. He's at it again, Toy Story, when Woody throws the second toy over the moving truck. So that's basically what you got with the Apollo Crews match. Shout out to him for getting another victory, and I can't wait to see it next week, dude. What a push. Give him the LA Knight match. Hell, give him the Cody Rhodes match. I don't care. The next thing that you did see was pre-recorded, but it was about the best thing that I've seen in a while, and that was at Georgia Tech, whatever they call their field.
Cinema, yeah.
It was something, man. It was really good. Like,
yeah, I didn't mind it.
You got Roman coming in with the 17 SUVs. You got to sell that, the pulling up, and then you got Cody just strolling up in his own car, getting out. Obviously, there's a little shot there. This whole thing was about 9 minutes.
Yes.
Worth every minute.
Yeah, I wasn't upset about this, and sometimes I feel like when you spend a lot of the budget on like these theatrical promos and everything, it can be kind of a little over embellished, a little over the top. But I thought this was just right, And shout out to Georgia Tech for getting a little bit of that WWE bump as well. I guess
that's what I'm saying. They really need it.
Tech football for sure. This was great, man. Music was great. The dialogue was great. Roman Reigns kind of coming forward and saying they essentially took everything from me. They took my brothers. They took my bloodline. And then obviously with the open-ended teaser at the end saying, when we're done with the new bloodline, I'm coming back for that belt.
Mm-hmm. You're in my way in life.
Exactly. You're in my way in life.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Cody.
I just want to say that one time to somebody, Kasey.
Right?
Yeah.
Like he was physically in his way. Cody's like, oh yeah, I'll get out of the way. That's reasonable.
Like whether I get like pulled over, whether like I'm going to a game and like the ticket person's giving me a hard time, I just want to say one time in my day.
Way in life.
You are in my way in life. Yeah.
It's a great line.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it delivered. They'll have to deliver, obviously, in the match, which they will.
Yep.
But this is good stuff. Like this is just quality, and you got to figure out. I mean, how many more do you have before Bad Blood Smackdowns? 1 or 2? 2, right?
I think it's 2. Yeah,
I think. Yeah. Well, you got to figure out how to keep this juice for 2 more because this is the best thing they got. Like if you look up and down the rest of what we got here, I mean, you had a lady fighting a dumpster. At one point, you have same old.
Whoa, don't just say a lady fighting a dump.
We'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there in a second.
But I mean,
leave her alone.
Listen, the rest of SmackDown right now is questionable.
Okay.
In a lot of spots.
First of all, we'll talk about the comedic gold here in a second. That is Chelsea Green.
Sure.
Because I'm not going to let you disrespect my girl like that.
Well.
I think next, though, didn't we have, speaking of she's in my way, Nia Jax? And Tiffany Stratton versus Bayley, and
that was the next match. The only other thing that happened before was Kevin Owens comes out, was a little upset about what he saw in the video package, which there's more of that at the end of the show, but calls out the bloodline. sort of. The Bloodline kind of come out and interrupt him. Here comes DIY.
Yep.
It's a big old fight, a page out of the Adam Pearce book. Nick Aldis says, I'm just going to let everybody fight and send the security out. But they make this match official for the main event, or so we thought.
Or so we think,
It was going to be Kevin Owens and DIY against the Bloodline to close out the show. But the next thing that did happen in the ring, Bayley, Naomi, Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton. Dude,
what do you got, man?
I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
I'm so sick. Like, here's the thing. It looked slow. You agree? Like, and I don't know if that's just like a Nia Jax match thing because, like, no offense, like, it's just, she's not fast. Nothing she does is, her gimmick is not fast.
No,
her gimmick is huge,
yes,
strong.
correct.
I'm going to break you.
Good.
And that's fine. But when you're in a match against Naomi, whose whole thing is fast.
Correct.
And Bayley's somewhere in between, but the parts where Naomi and Nia Jax are going at it, it's like I feel like Naomi is waiting. And that it's just like at times a tough watch. And I think that hurt that match a bit.
Yeah. You know, to me, it was just an okay match. And once again, and I'm going to keep on saying this until I'm blue in the face, Casey, but, you know, Tiffany Stratton here is an afterthought.
So much so.
So much so. Was really the D side of this match, I feel like.
Yeah.
And
Irrelevant.
it shouldn't be that way.
She could have not been there and it would have been fine.
Because she's too talented. Should be pushed like you're pushing Gunther, like you're pushing Rhea Ripley, but she's not. And it's like I said, man, you're gonna hang out with Nia Jax for a while. Good luck to you. I just wonder if you're gonna lose some of your luster. And I think right now she is losing some of that luster. She still has the briefcase, and we'll see eventually. And so help me God, Casey. If she tries to cash it in and she fails because, you know, they've said it, they haven't really said it lately, but they've said it before where no female has ever failed to cash in. If that happens, we riot.
Oh, we riot.
We riot.
I'm with you. Listen,
for sure.
It's Tiffy time all the time on my watch. So, like, it'll be a debacle.
Yeah.
And
but also with this match, too, real quick, Naomi had her foot underneath the ropes, but I guess that's cool
correct.
now.
Correct, and they were right on the shot because they had to be. That was tough.
Yeah.
She originally had it on the rope. She moved it, but
Moved it, but still like under the
You could have. I feel like you could have done that like in more towards the center of the ring, but you didn't. So that is what it is. Here's the other part of this. I kind of hate how they've done it now because now you're going to get Bayley Naomi for the #1 contender to go against Nia Jax.
Yeah. Which
I just don't love the whole thing.
What's it going to be? I mean,
I think it should be Naomi.
But is she hot enough?
She's not.
Yeah.
But we just saw it with Bayley.
No, I agree.
And I know you're beefing with that too.
Yeah.
But then my other thing is, like, personally, I would like to see it be Naomi. But the problem I just told you 2 minutes ago, it's going to look slow.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not good for Naomi. Like, Naomi's much better suited in, like, a feud with
Elo Sky or...
Yes.
Yeah.
Or if you flipped her, like, her and Liv Morgan would be good. That's fast. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
So I feel like you're not going to, because if I see it, they see it. So I feel like you're not going to do that, even though Naomi would be cool to see get a title shot.
So then it's going to be Bayley, you think?
It's going to be Bayley again.
Do you see it being maybe a triple threat?
I think that makes more sense.
So somehow I don't know, they pin each other and like there is no winner, so they make it a triple threat match.
Yeah, that or like Tiffy comes out and gets a disqualification in the match, and then Aldis has to decide something.
Yeah,
because she's still involved in this storyline.
Well, and it does make you wonder too. Like, is bad blood where it finally comes to a head between Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax, where they kind of had enough of each other and everything, and Tiffany finally kind of turns on Nia, and maybe
I mean, it would make sense. They called it bad blood, but then something would have to happen immediately.
Correct.
And it's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that
wishful thinking, Casey.
It's just not great. That whole thing is being handled like a debacle. I really don't know how you get out of it until you take the belt off of her. The problem is, I don't think you're taking the belt off of her.
Nope. Keep that heel heat while you can, I guess.
And this whole thing isn't it sounds like we're piling on. This whole thing isn't on Nia Jackson. It's not her fault.
No, it's got nothing to do with
circumstances have been extremely questionable the whole time.
Yeah. Our issue is that we think Tiffany Stratton's a star.
Yes.
And we feel like she's kind of just playing second fiddle and not being showcased like she should.
Yes. And you really have no one else. If you're not going to do Tiffany Stratton, which clearly you're not, I don't understand how you're back on Bayley. After 2 months when it was Bayley, you really did nothing, and now it's Bayley again. Not mad at Bayley, not mad at Nia Jax, just the whole thing is Not great. It could have been Chelsea Green, but she's too busy fighting a dumpster.
Kasey, when I say that there's few comedic performances that stick out to me, we're talking Will Ferrell in Old School. We're talking Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, not bad.
And go ahead and put Chelsea Green right up on that podium as well, trying to get a raccoon and trying to take out the trash. Comedic gold. Should be nominated for a comedy Oscar. Right in her wheelhouse. It's what wrestling fans want to see. I can't imagine what the ratings look like. All right? There's a bump. USA got a bump, Kasey. I guarantee USA got a bump. The network got a bump. They're like, oh, and I guarantee Fox is watching and saying, man,
we lost that.
We lost it. Should have kept Chelsea Green. Should have kept the comedy on, but we didn't.
Live look at Fox ratings. Executives.
Yeah.
Thank God we got rid of this.
Hey,
that's what they're saying.
Hey, you know what? It is what it is with that. I'm trying to lie and say it was enjoyable. It was
questionable, huh?
It was all right. Yeah,
I said, is that a dumpster? I said, is she taking out the trash?
Yeah.
And then I was like, I wonder what's in the dumpster. And then she gets bit by a raccoon.
Yep. That's funny. I like that.
I mean.
Come on, man. Trash pandas? Come on.
I mean, just
come on, man.
Rough. Just overall rough. Like, I, at this point, am starting to feel bad for Chelsea Green.
Oh, leave her alone. I mean, yeah, I kind of am too. Once again,
can you let her wrestle somebody?
Should have gave her the briefcase, but
shouldn't have gave her the brief. Well, at this point, should have.
Because I feel like the briefcase is almost a curse at this point, Kasey.
Here's the deal. If Chelsea Green would have won the briefcase, Tiffy would be the champ right now.
Correct. Agreed.
Maybe you were on something.
Hey, man.
Dude, because Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green could be phenomenal in terms of like the lead up.
I mean, it's right up there with LA Knight and Logan Paul, I think.
Yeah, it could be good.
I'm not mad at that. But also, I feel like, I don't know, because I feel like you have two heels, though. Because I feel like heel Stratton is a lot better than face Stratton. And same thing with Chelsea Green.
Huh? Well, I think people would be in. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah, but I think people would still be in. You're right. You're absolutely right.
I mean, I don't know how the masses feel about Chelsea Green. I know that I'm all set. I know you're a big fan. So, I mean.
And I'm just getting started. So
yeah, I mean, there's people out there that are intrigued. But Raccoon 1, Chelsea Green 0.
Yes.
We'll see what happens. Maybe she can go to the dump next time and maybe get it back at the Raccoon. Your main event is Kevin Owens and supposed to be DIY as the boys are heading out.
Yep.
It's a debacle from the Bloodline. They attack DIY. We'll see you boys next time, leaving it to be a 3-on-1 Kevin Owens against the Bloodline, or so we thought. Just as things were going down, Kevin Owens not looking promising. Here come the Street Profits. And again, I started doing some math here.
Yeah.
And not that they should take a page out of AEW's book, but I'm looking at SmackDown, right? And I just told you that a lot of this was questionable. And I go, DIY more times than not give you a pretty good performance.
But they do. And the crowd seems to be behind them, too.
Street Profits seem to be pretty much on fire right now.
They are.
Bloodline is the Bloodline.
Bloodline is the Bloodline.
Why don't you give me, like, Kevin Owens, Randy Orton as the fourth team? And give me some sort of tag team casino gauntlet that AEW is doing. Like, that's, I feel like, where you are. Or you could be.
Yeah.
Oh, and throw in...
It's just a revolving door at this point.
Who are the other boys that always get their butts kicked? Theory and Waller.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Like, I feel like that's what you got on SmackDown right now. Hell, get Carmelo Hayes and Andrade on the same team for once.
It is almost, it's kind of like a roulette wheel, and you're not really seeing someone like really stand out. It's just you're kind of revolving every single week. No, you're not wrong there, Kasey.
So I feel like you could do something like that, but they're not gonna.
Yeah.
Owens and the Street Profits get the win over the Bloodline. Cody Rhodes coming to the last-minute aid of Kevin Owens. And for a split second, it looked like Kevin Owens was going to hit Cody Rhodes with the chair again.
Yeah, man, we're still going with this internal demons. Is Kevin Owens going to turn? Is he going to listen to the voices? But he doesn't, but we thought it was going to happen. This is like the 25th tease where Kevin Owens has threatened to beat up Cody Rhodes and he hasn't done it yet. All right, man, it's going to be a slow burn here. I will say this about the match, though. Is there anything cooler when Montez Ford does like the swanton outside of the ring and then lands on his feet like he's taking out the trash, like it was nothing to him?
It was pretty
like
wild.
He's doing the dishes like he does it every single day. Dude, if I did that and landed on my feet, Kasey, I would have took 25 sprints around the ring just celebrating. Like, yeah, I just did that.
Oh, if I got to the top rope, I would do that.
Go ahead and meme that. Yeah,
dude, I'm telling you, them collectively, but I mean, he's extremely talented. They're on fire right now.
No, they are.
I think they're holding it down, like more of it. But again, like there's only so much you're doing, and apparently one thing you're definitely not going to do is have the bloodline actually lose when it matters. But when it doesn't matter, boy, them boys are going to get toasted. So that part is questionable, and that's what closed out the show. Let me get your thought on this. Hear me out. Not soon. I'm talking maybe like WrestleMania.
Okay.
Singles match, no title on the line.
Okay.
Just tell me you wouldn't be in on this by what I'm telling you.
Hit me with it.
Jacob Fatu, Kevin Owens. You could build that into something. Kevin Owens is fantastic. Maybe, I know I'm not alone here, but I love Kevin Owens.
Yeah.
He can beef with anybody. Jacob Fatu, you're still kind of, don't get me wrong, he's extremely talented.
Yeah.
You're not really in a position to put him out in singles. But if you build that up until something, maybe WrestleMania is not the right moment. Maybe
even
Royal Rumble,
Survivor Series,
Series, something like that.
So here's the thing, Casey, and I thought about this too a little bit. It's going to be old school Bloodline versus new school Bloodline.
Sure.
Okay. And we all agree that Jacob Fatu is like, he's the enforcer. He's the muscle. I mean, my God, I thought he literally, when it was backstage and he took out Ciampa, I thought he killed Ciampa.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, that guy's got kids, and I hope he's okay. So he's the enforcer. He's the muscle. When Roman Reigns starts to, ban the old, it's almost like the Avengers where he's trying to reunite everybody.
Sure.
Like, you're going to have Sami Zayn back. You're going to have Jey Uso. I'm pretty sure you're going to have Jimmy on the new Bloodline just because I feel like the whole Jimmy and Jey beef still has to happen a little more. So my point, though, is who's the enforcer going to be? You make him Kevin Owens because Kevin Owens still hates the Bloodline. So if I'm Roman Reigns and I say I need an enforcer to match Jacob Fatu, I make Kevin Owens that enforcer. And
I don't hate that.
And I feel you could have an enforcer versus enforcer match because, there are similar, obviously Jacob Fatu is just a beast all to itself.
Yep.
But KO is the prize fighter. Make no mistake about it. What I don't understand, though,
like
is
that a lot, by the way.
but they keep teasing him, though, where he's going to turn on Cody. So I'm like, well, if you do that, can you really afford to have, I don't know.
I think it's the one thing that you can go so many ways with because I think what I described, what you described would make perfect sense for KO. You could do it without miss a beat.
Yeah.
I also think there's a scenario if for some reason, Royal Rumble maybe, that Roman Reigns is taking Cody's title, you can still flip Kevin Owens and Cody and do that at WrestleMania. Because that would be long-term. Like, you could. I feel like there's 3 or 4 different... You could put him in a tag team with Orton, I still believe. You could do that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a ton you could do with Kevin Owens. It's just what direction will they go? And hopefully they pick a direction because right now it just feels like bro's there because he's there.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see him become the enforcer of, like, the old-school Bloodline.
That'd be sick.
I think that's going to be the biggest thing. And then you'll have him and Sammy kind of back together as well with Jey Uso. I mean... That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. So that's how they close out SmackDown. By the way, shout out my guy Tyler. The Jags suck, bro. I appreciate you, but I would have said some absolutely foul things that probably would have got us canceled. So it was a good thing.
Oh, I said some foul things as well, and I'm still waiting to hear, to get like a nice worded email saying I'm no longer welcome to the press box or something, even though I haven't even been there yet. So
well.
It's bad.
It's tough time.
It's bad.
It's absolutely just terrible.
It's atrocious
right now. Raw coming to you from Ontario, and I said, cool, Canada. California, which I had no idea was a place.
Hey, I'm with you.
So shout out to I couldn't now tell you where it is. I got no idea.
No.
The good news
Never heard of it.
is right off the rip, I knew we were having a good program because you got Tessitore and you got Wade Barrett.
Yep.
And you got Dom Mysterio and Liv Morgan rolling up in a lowrider. Yep. Joe Tessitore is disgusted. Wade Barrett
has never been so offended his entire life. Joe Tessitore.
Wade Barrett's never been more in on anything in his entire life, saying some extreme. If anyone's getting an email about saying questionable things, it's Wade Barrett's love for Dominic Mysterio.
Yes. Yeah. Little unsettling sometimes, I feel like.
Are the hydraulics better on the car or Dom Mysterio, he says.
Yeah.
Holy yikes.
Take that for how you want, everybody.
Now I'm going to get an email because I said it. I repeated it. I just quoted it.
Shut down.
I just quoted Wade Barrett.
I mean, Wade Barrett, save that for Netflix, man. All right? Take it easy, dude.
Wade Barrett's going to be great on Netflix, by the way. And then as you think you're seeing the Lovebirds come in, nope. I'll be match part 6. Here comes Strowman and Bronson Reed crashing through for whatever reason, a merch table backstage.
Adam Pearce in shambles, has lost complete control for, I don't know, the 12th week in a row of his company.
Dude, the best part is like, as soon as it happens, here comes the security, and it just gives you the vibe of like an old cartoon where these dudes are just chasing it's like Tom and Jerry when they're chasing each other for weeks at all these different locations.
Yep.
I mean, that's just, it's incredible. It's just incredible, but that's how the show opens.
We need to do like an Adam Pearce counter of how many employees that he's got hurt while on the job.
It's unbelievable. A few in that moment, more to come.
Casey, we're talking hundreds. Hundreds.
Dude, the Indeed profile for WWE security guard is just massive. And you do not want to be on, you do not want to send your easy resume like Indeed wants you to.
Not even close.
On that one. But eventually Dom and Liv make it to the ring, doing their disgusting. Yeah. And then here comes everybody's favorite, Rhea Ripley. Yep. If just a quick check, 1 week later, the crowd still loves her. Mm-hmm. And
huge pop.
They're gonna put Dirty Dom in a shark cage, Austin.
Yeah, so this should have been CM Punk's dog. So don't like how they steal my idea.
It's true.
Of putting CM Punk's dog with Drew McIntyre. You know, just have him hanging from the cage, the Hell in the Cell. Yep. But no, we had to put Dirty Dom in the cage. Come on, man. Maybe I'm sure Peter probably would have had a field day with that if you put the
dog,
Larry the dog.
Oh, that would have been tough.
Who cares? You're going to
Money in the Bank with the
raw.
dog.
This is the Attitude Era coming back, Casey. Put a dog in a shark cage. Well, probably a little smaller. He doesn't because he's a small dog, so you don't want to have him poke through and fall on the mat. Yeah. Yikes, Larry. Yikes.
That would be tough. CM Punk would quit again.
Yeah, but don't like how we're not using Larry in the shark cage. But they did show Larry in the ring for some viral video outside of the episode, behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. Larry was in the ring, so maybe Larry does make an appearance. Whatever, man. Okay, yeah, put Dom in a shark cage.
Here's what I don't like. What's the why?
Just
you're not getting him out of it,
Casey. Yeah, just for the aesthetics, I guess.
But here's my thing: how's he getting out? It's not like Money in the Bank. Nobody's climbing. So are they just leaving him in Georgia?
I think they're just going to leave him there and be like, all right,
you got to figure it out.
Sit back and watch what you did. Yeah, I don't know.
The only way I'm into this is if he's up there for hours. They either have to open the show with it and he has to sit up there the entire time.
Yeah.
Or they end, which they're not gonna end the show with it, and they keep checking in with Dom.
There's no way they're gonna leave him up there for that long because people would boo nonstop. It would be a distraction from the entire show.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Because this is the guy that has the most nuclear heat in all of wrestling right now. You can't leave him up there for other matches.
That's a good point. Actually, I forgot about that.
It's gonna be a liability.
Okay, basically, I'm just all right, Rhea, that's great. I'm glad that you got him in a shark cage.
And then Rey Mysterio makes an appearance too for the 50th time between Dom and Rey. But I get it, father son.
Little Dragon Lee.
Keep it going. And Dragon.
We'll get to Dragon Lee in a second. Sami Zayn, Ludwig Kaiser, first match of the night. The wrong dude won. I'm just gonna tell you. I understand Sami Zayn has to win, but you can't watch Ludwig Kaiser wrestle and go, this guy's not a star. In my opinion, I think he's great.
No, for sure. You're absolutely right. But also, man, I thought, the in-ring psychology of this match with Sami Zayn, I thought it was great, man. He's the underdog from the underground, and he got knocked out. He gets back in. It was, I thought overall, and once again, Kaiser also carried this match as well. So I thought both guys did a great job. I thought it was a great match. And, yeah, it was a good performance by both wrestlers.
I really enjoyed it. I will say with Sami Zayn, the only person that sells I'm getting demolished, but I'm getting back up better was Bray Wyatt. But that was the gimmick. Bray Wyatt was crazy.
But that was the spirits in play there.
Sami Zayn is you can't kill me.
Yeah.
And I do love that about him. And it's every single time he wrestles, there's 2 or 3 times I'm this is, I thought Ludwig was winning multiple times. Mm-hmm. I was this is it. Mm-hmm. Sammy kicks out, and I'm dude, you can't kill this guy. So I obviously that's the thing. I do appreciate that about Sami Zayn. Yep. But
I also love how he says the word intercontinental. It's over pronunciation because he's French Canadian or whatever. But he's intercontinental. It's just I don't know. It's weird to me, man. But I appreciate it. But needless to say, Gunther comes out and still says no.
Do you appreciate that Gunther still says no?
Well, I do this time because he kind of had the whole crowd in the palm of his hand, acting like he's going to say yes, and then pulls a little bit of a swerve and says nah.
Love it.
Which makes me wonder, what is it going to take now? Because he just beat his boy and everything. what's it going to take for Sami Zayn to get that title shot?
Here's what I don't want to happen. I think you've established so much that Gunther is not doing it. Don't flip it next week.
You have to, though, Casey.
Don't do it.
Well,
you've got enough on. You're going to have enough. Don't.
It's bad blood, Casey. Bad blood.
Is it really bad blood? Because Gunther doesn't care about him.
True. It's not a bad point.
Like he's literally unbothered to Gunther. Like I think what would serve this better is keep this going for another month. Have him continue to beat up. Have him go to SmackDown and beat up Vinci. I don't care. Once Apollo Crews gets done. Yeah. Like, I think you're better suited to just have this keep going until another pay-per-view from now, and then Gunther's like, all right, fine.
I mean, it's not a bad call because, like, you're not wrong, Casey.
Because Gunther's so dismissive of it, like, you can't change his mind like that in a week.
No, of course. It's like, what can Sami Zayn do now that's going to get Gunther's attention so much where he's going to go, okay, we're going to wrestle?
Nothing like, in a week, unless he steals his dog, like McIntyre. Like, it's got to be something so dramatic but keep going for a month.
Which and I feel like, all right, does Sammy become unhinged and like do whatever's necessary to try to get that title shot? Possibly, but once again,
but
like,
you're not selling that in a week.
What is that going to be? The only thing I can think of is, and I can't put a finger on it, is some sort of stipulation. But like, I don't even know what kind of match Gunther would want where it'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, this is what I want. Like, I have no idea.
Yeah, you
like an I Quit match, maybe.
That would play well for Sammy and the character.
Yeah.
See, the problem is you had him beat Kaiser, because I feel like what you could have done is, if you did this right, is have him and Kaiser at Bad Blood. And if he beats Kaiser there, then he gets the title shot in a month, which I would have been okay with. But I feel like Sammy just beat him on a random Monday night in Ontario, not Canada, California. So that's out.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be some sort of stipulation because we've seen Gunther just have absolute banger after banger with just regular matches.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to switch it up now with Gunther and do some sort of stipulation. I just can't put a finger on what it could be.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I think they could drag this thing out another month. We'll see what they do, but it was a good match, and Gunther obviously had control of the whole state of California, it felt like, in that moment. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, beefing still. Kofi says, you know what, I don't want to be the quarterback because I've been watching Trevor Lawrence play, and it is apparently hard to play quarterback. So, Xavier, you can run it. And then Xavier runs right to the Creeds and Chad Gable, who are apparently done with the Wyatts, which I've been asking for a while. Yeah. So, thank you for that.
New chapter.
And eventually later in the night, you get the Creeds and the New Day, but they continue to tease the New Day breakup. So we'll get to that in a second.
But also interesting that they kind of teased like the reunion. I forgot like what year reunion we're on now.
Oh, yeah. What do you say, like 11 or 7?
Something like that. Whatever it is. So like I feel like they wouldn't tease that unless there's some sort of plan in place, which once again, I can't see.
They've been teasing stuff all over.
I can't see. Well, and of course, you know, when Odyssey Jones gets fired, I'm sure that kind of threw a wrench in the plans a little bit. What it comes down to me is the biggest thing. Is Big E going to come back or not? And once again, the injuries and everything, signs show that he's probably not going to come back in at least a wrestling capacity. Could he come back and be a manager, be kind of like the voice, the spokesperson? Possibly. But like when they tease the reunion or like, you know, when they tease like, you know, it's been how many years, it's coming up pretty soon, that makes me think that we're going to see Big E pretty soon. But we'll see. Yeah,
that'd be interesting. Hopefully, because I'm a Big E guy. They get a match later in the night. The next match was Dragon Lee and Carlito. And as this thing was, I guess, walking out before the match started, I was like, dude, if they have this guy lose to Carlito, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
Because I love me some Dragon
Lee. Casey's all about that Dragon Lee, and Dragon Lee got it done.
Dragon Lee, dude, Dragon Lee is good.
He's good. I was kind of surprised. Like, I was thinking the same thing, like Carlito's kind of, you know, I don't call him a jobber, but
why is Carlito there?
He is what he is at this point. Yeah. But I also thought, like, well, do you need to secure a victory for Judgment Day to kind of make him look a little stronger?
It has been a minute.
Apparently, you don't need to. You're all good.
Not with Carlito. I mean, I think Dragon Lee's really good in the ring. I get it. You can only do so much. Following the lead of Rey Mysterio, I wonder if Rey actually calls it. They which they can flip him into that role. Obviously, not to that level, but. I think it was a good performance by Dragon Lee. I'm telling you, though, with Carlito, like, I get it. I understand. But, like, you know how much we could do without Carlito?
Yes.
Like, you know how much better of a match that would have been? One, if it was Finn Balor.
Yeah, but
one, if it was JD McDonough.
Yeah, but let the WWE get its surplus of apples in, all right, Casey? They have like a whole back order, I'm sure, in catering. They got to use up those apples.
Dude, this guy's been eating apples on TV since the 90s.
Oh, I know, man. I was literally like in grade school watching him eat apples.
Right?
It's crazy. Oh, yeah.
Like, call it, bro.
It's wild. It's gonna call it.
Like, I'm sorry, call it. I'd
call it.
Now. But shout out to him. He was there. Yeah. We thought we were getting Bronson Reed Miz.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nope.
We were getting Meat Match 6.
Adam Pearce, control your company.
Hey, let me show you this. This was as before the nonsense, but I want to draw your attention to top left of this picture. Adam Pearce.
He's had it.
He's had it.
I can't do this anymore.
These two men continue to beat the crap out of each other. We've damaged rooms, cars, merch tables, rings, referees, security guards, and all Adam Pearce can do is stand there with his hands on his hips like Shakira.
Yep.
Adam, bro, do something.
So here's my contingency plan of what's going to happen.
Please.
And why you're trying to run it back some more with Bronson Reed and Braun Strowman. Set aside from the whole Arby's thing where it's got to be a meat match, you would think. But if you saw the Wyatt 6 teaser and you clicked on the link and everything, and I didn't click on it personally, I'm just whatever. I'll let it I'll just go on Twitter later and read it, but somebody else did the hard work.
That's fair.
And I did. And I think Bronson Reed's going to literally kill Braun Strowman, and then he's going to be resurrected in the Wyatt 6. So
it's not like it's I don't necessarily disagree with you.
I
but
think
it's
he's gonna actually
to
murder him. I think he's gonna jump from like, I don't know, a forklift, a 3-story building, do a splash, and he's gonna collapse Braun Strowman's stomach, and they're gonna have all the blood capsules in the mouth, and Braun Strowman's gonna be coughing up blood and everything, and it's gonna be like the last kind of moment before you go to Netflix, and it's rated R there, and you're going to kill him, and then he's going to get resurrected and come back with the Wyatt family.
So here's the thing. Set aside from the craziness of that,
sure,
how sick would that be? Like, if you did it, it could be cool. Hey,
book it, Casey.
It could be sick.
Hey, put it down, man. Because I'm thinking, like, why else? Like, okay, you guys have been going back and forth and everything. I get it. And Bronson Reed got hurt that one time, so Braun Strowman took over, and you're building up. No, they're gonna kill Braun Strowman off for a bit.
They're gonna
kill him off for a bit, or at least we think so. And he's gonna come back with the mask on. He's gonna be in the Wyatt 6. Book it.
It'd be insane. It'd be really cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot here. And by the way, like, you want to talk about Bronson Reed killing people? Is Seth Rollins alive?
I don't know, man. Well,
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, we have seen Seth Rollins, but maybe it's brain trauma because the guy just fell out of the stands
at the
Colts game. And then
he's losing it. Bronson Reed made him insane. There's a brain bleed there.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The only reason we know R-Truth is alive is because he was in Shannon Sharp's very questionable IG Live.
I didn't know he was in that.
He was commenting.
Okay.
R-Truth was up right in there. So, like, we barely know these two are alive.
He was in the comments. He wasn't in the video.
Yeah, he was in the comments.
Careful now.
He was absolutely not in the same room.
He was not in the video. He was in the comments.
He was
if
not
you don't
participating.
Know what we're talking about, feel free to Google it and have yourselves a good time.
Yeah, he was definitely commenting.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
I mean, Bronson Reed just continues to be a monster, and I continue to stand by my statement. Every time I see it, it makes me I'm in. Love it.
Gonna kill somebody. Can't wait.
I'm not. That would be a crazy storyline.
Can't wait.
You could buy me into the Strowman thing. Like, there are people, like, I don't really know where you would stand on that. You could sell me on that. Like, I would be in.
Yeah. Because, I mean, and to be fair, like, I love Braun Strowman too, man, but you feel like Bronson Reed's got to keep this momentum going.
Yeah.
Right? Because this all started with him.
Oh, sure.
This all started with him from the top rope.
Yes.
And then Braun Strowman got
Seth.
involved. So keep that momentum going for Bronson Reed now. Kill Braun Strowman and then bring him back.
And to be honest, Braun Strowman probably should have been with the Wyatts anyway.
Of course.
When they started.
Yeah.
But again, like, here's my other thing. Dude, where are I understand they had the promo, but, like, what are you doing with them? It's the
slowest burn of all time, man. It is.
But, like, even you're projecting it out, like, who are they going to beef with?
You thought the Bloodline took time to tell a story.
Dude, I just keep hoping that it's eventually going to be that.
It will be.
Bloodline, Wyatt 6.
Well, I think it's going to be Bloodline. I'm not sorry. I think it's going to be Wyatt 6 versus Judgment Day next.
Yeah. True.
Because what else are you going to do?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's
I
a
don't know
mess.
either, man.
Adam Pearce, by the way, after he took his hands off his hips, makes the last monster standing match next week. So way to go, Adam Pearce, for finally doing something for your job. Damage Control, Unholy Union. There was 2 things that made me excited about this match.
Okay.
One, I've been liking Unholy Union, so cool.
I'm
and
not bad
Damage
at it.
Control always does good in the ring.
Mhm.
And up to this point, I was like, dude, we haven't seen the Pure Fusion Collective.
Change it, but yes, we haven't seen him.
And I was like, this is a good run for Monday Night Raw. So at this point, I was like, dude, we're cooking.
Yep, we're cooking with gas. Yes.
The match itself, Damage Control gets the win.
Good, yeah.
Just quality. Because I feel like up until this point, you hadn't really had a ton of wrestling.
Yeah.
Like Sami Zayn, yeah, sure. And then you did like 6 backstage things. And then Dragon Lee got in for like 6 minutes. And then you did a whole bunch more backstage. You had 2 giant men fighting. So you really hadn't done much wrestling. You did a little bit here, women's division. Quality, real good.
Yeah. I will say this much about Alba Fire and Ilsa Dawn. I think they've done great work in terms of getting tag teams over. You know,
Agreed.
they're kind of like the go-to heels. You throw them out there. We haven't really seen a lot in terms of packages, in terms of promo. They've been on the mic a couple times, but nothing like crazy with creative. But I think every opportunity that they've had in the ring
has been good.
They've done great work.
I agree with that.
So props to them.
I very much agree with that. Then you get the Creed brothers and the New Day. The Creed brothers do eventually get the win because Xavier Rhodes was a little upset with Chad Gable.
Yeah, you know, more of the
Kofi looked good.
storyline going. Yeah, I mean, good match, solid match. I'm a big fan of the Creed brothers. I think they're
like
super talented. Yeah, I mean,
I'm just okay.
you know, they're traditional wrestlers, but super athletes. I'm all for it.
I feel like the ending was not great because Creed brother 1 was in the wrong spot.
Yeah,
so he had to back up.
Yep.
Which didn't look great.
You're talking about with like the jumping knee and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that.
So, I mean,
there's like a little delay, a little.
Yeah. I'm fine with them. Like, they're there.
Mhm.
Gable could wrestle more. Hey, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we'll see. You get that. And then that's when you get the White 6 package with the QR code, which may eventually lead to death for Braun Strowman. And then just when I thought we were going to make it through an episode, here comes Sonya Deville on a video.
Yep.
Pure Fusion Collective.
Pure Fusion Collective.
We couldn't go 1 week.
Nope. Change it.
Change
the name. Yeah.
Jey Uso has the place yeetin'.
Man.
Joe Tessitore's got his sign. Southern California Yeets or something. Just unbelievable how much the crowd loves this dude. Goes down there. Right around this time, the Jags are finally getting the knife put in them for the last time.
Yeah.
Like, it actually worked out perfectly because the game ended and Jey Uso and Braun Breaker's walking out. I was like, cool, this is perfect. The dogs were barking. Crowd was into it. And you texted it to me, and I'll stand by your statement. I cannot believe that they gave it to Jey Uso.
So, few things here. The way they kept saying that Jey Uso has never won a singles title.
Yeah.
Like, when I was watching this, I'm like, yeah, you keep saying it, but like, I still don't believe he's going to win this one. Like, I don't think it was the right moment. And we talked about this last week, Casey, where Jey Uso is so hot right now, though, man. Like,
unbelievable.
The entire WWE universe is behind him. So to me, this is an audible. This is, Triple H going, we got to ride this wave. We got to ride this momentum because we're going to carry that momentum when you have old school bloodline versus new school bloodline. You put a belt on Jey Uso that makes it more legitimate.
Good call.
That it is what it is. But I was shocked too as well because
stunned.
I feel like Braun Breaker is the future. And
there were multiple spots. I'm like, this is how it's going to end.
Yeah,
and it didn't. He kept kicking out.
And it's a great match. I mean, those close spots where I was like, oh, we're still doing this? Okay, cool. And I thought Wade Barrett said it nicely where he was talking about how Braun Breaker is the only guy that can wrestle like a heavyweight but also wrestle like a cruiserweight. I thought that was well put, which is true.
I agree with that.
I get it. I get riding the momentum that is Jey Uso. Over one word and yeet, and now all of a sudden it's like the biggest thing. And Casey, maybe we don't fully understand it, but the universe does. So you ride that wave. I don't know what you do now with Braun Breaker.
It's a good question.
I mean, I don't know.
So I think first on the Jey Uso front, super cool real life thing for him to win that.
Yeah.
Been a good soldier for 20 years. Done a lot, had a great career, but I guess you never know when that run's going to come in professional wrestling. It could be at any time, just when it's going to pop. I mean, if you look at AEW, did you think Christian Cage was going to have a run like this after the WWE? No.
Not even close.
Bryan Danielson's a champion right now.
But Christian Cage, one of the best things going right now.
Right. So you never know when that's going to happen. So if it was truly an audible, I appreciate the WWE for doing it because Jay deserved it. There's no doubt.
Yes.
And I'm not even sure if this was on the air or if it was after they went off the air when he's in the crowd and they gave him the mic. I don't know if you saw this, saw it on Twitter.
Yeah.
That was real. That was real life stuff.
Yep.
That's dope. So
that's very cool.
I think that was cool.
If you're going to ask what I think is going to happen next, I think you don't shy away from Braun Breaker. He's still a huge
Braun Breaker
star.
has to get it back, right?
So here's what's going to happen. I think you're going to have Bad Blood or maybe down the line a little more. I think it could be at Bad Blood, though, the rematch, and this is where Jimmy Uso comes in and causes
Jay to lose it.
Jay to lose it. And you cause Braun Breaker to get it back. And then you have a whole new, drama set with Jay and Jimmy Uso.
I like it.
Yeah. Especially with Bad Blood.
Is it too early? If this Sami Zayn thing doesn't actually happen, is it too early to go Braun Breaker Gunther?
I think it is, Casey, because I don't think if you have those two square off, you can't have either of those guys lose.
Fair.
I feel like nobody really wins in that match. The juice is not worth the squeeze.
Fair.
Does
it make sense to, and we talk about this a lot, and they're never going to do something like this, but is this a real scenario where you should switch shows for Braun Breaker? Because outside of Cody and the Bloodline and everything happening on SmackDown, we talked about it. The rest of it was questionable. You're on Andrade, Carmelo Hayes 6. You could put Braun Breaker over there. Put him with LA Knight immediately. Yeah. Give him that title if you want to give him one. Yeah. You could put him with Kevin Owens in a beef. Those two could just beef with each other. Put him in a Randy Orton beef. You could potentially do that.
Yep.
Depending on what you do here with Cody, you could have him beef with Cody. I feel like that's a spark that show could potentially need.
No, you're not wrong there, but I think you have to be careful, though, with how many, different belts you put on him so quickly. Because I think if he wrestles LA Knight, I think he might beat LA Knight then. They might put it on Breaker overnight.
True. Well, then put him with Kevin Owens. If you're or if Logan Paul's coming back.
Yeah. No, I think that the biggest thing is to...
Because I think you kind of need a star over there that's not Roman or Cody.
You do. I agree with that, Casey. I just think it makes the most sense, though, to have Jimmy cost Jay the title, put it back on Braun, and then let Braun retain that thing for a while.
Because then, in theory, I guess you, at some point, do need to get Jimmy and Jay over to SmackDown.
Correct.
But again, it's all the same story. Are you going to do 2 hours of Bloodline every... Which, by the way, rumor says SmackDown's going to 3 hours when they go to Netflix.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you got to get people over there.
True. The other thing I was thinking about with what you do with Braun Breaker, but I don't see it happening just because you have so much Bloodline stuff yet, is do you pair him with Paul Heyman?
Cool. But I'm a big advocate in that.
No, as am I, but I still think there's so much left unsettled with the Bloodline where Paul's got to focus on that. I don't see Paul representing Braun Breaker and then also with, Roman Reigns and the old school Bloodline as well.
By the way, Paul Heyman, are you alive?
I know, man. We'll find out.
I mean, Roman said they took his wise man. Did they take him to the grave? Is he with us?
Getting that Braun Strowman treatment. All right, do you want to do AW Grand Slam real quick?
AW Grand Slam on a random Wednesday.
Arthur Ashe Stadium, baby. Let's go.
Couldn't do this on a Saturday. No. Got to do it.
I wish they would, man. This is pay-per-view worthy, I feel like.
It's
Arthur
sick.
Ashe is cool.
There's a lot of stuff happening. Yeah. Saraya, Jamie Hayter is bad blood,
By the way,
honest.
Saraya and the other girl that she's with, I can't remember her name right now.
What is that girl's name?
Her lackey has been nonstop comedy for me.
Yeah.
Even more than Chelsea Green, I feel
really?
like. Yeah, I've been a really big fan of that. You're going to have Jeff Jarrett taking on Hangman Page in a lumberjack strap match.
Okay, so why?
Ooh, man.
Again, there's some good stuff on this card, but this is one of multiple. Did anybody ask for this? Does anybody actually want to see this? Have Hangman sit this one out. He's clearly a lunatic. He's clearly deranged. Just let Swerve revive and then do that again.
Might actually kill Jeff Jarrett. So
legitimately,
I'm tuning into that one.
Legitimately, a heart might stop.
We got Hook taking on Roderick Strong for the FTW Championship.
I like Hook.
Yeah.
There's no reason to do anything stupid here, I think.
No, for sure.
Just hold on to it, Hook.
Yep. Matthew Nicholas Jackson taking on Kyle Fletcher and Will Ospreay, AEW Tag Team Championship.
I got the picture.
Oh, nice.
This is dope. This is good.
Yeah.
If I had any hope that the Bucks were going to drop it, it'd be right here. Because I think you could easily have Ospreay with 2 belts.
I mean, it would be great, man. But I can see here Ospreay's next feud is going to be Kyle Fletcher. I can see Fletcher turning on Ospreay.
They just did this.
I know, man. I know, but
the 1 week flip. I hate you now. Let's have a win first.
Nope.
Flip when you're the champ.
Flip it, man. It's AEW. Let's go. You got to flip right away.
That's fair.
Yep.
Still,
you got the Trios champion, which is going to be awkward because Wheeler Yuta is still with, Pac and Claudio.
Right. Yeah.
And Yuta watched one of his best friends get murdered.
Basically.
With the plastic bag.
As far as we know, we don't know if he's alive either, by the way.
Yeah, we don't. So you have that. They're taking on who are they taking on? The Trios Championship.
I don't have it. I don't know why I don't have it.
I don't have it either.
Are they not doing that?
Maybe not.
Did they pull it?
I don't know. I'm not seeing it here.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was a thing. I thought they were doing it too.
All right, well, stay tuned for that because it's not here on the official.
Hey, but good news if you want to talk about a trios match that is happening, the Learning Tree.
Oh, are they taking on the Learning Tree?
No, it's Learning Tree and then Orange Cassidy and the boys.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which things that nobody asked for 200.
And then and then you have Mariah May versus Yuka Sakazaki.
Mariah May's not dropping it, right?
Stop. No.
Okay, I'm just checking.
No. Shame on you.
I'm just checking. I listen, she's at Jags games, dude. Anybody could lose. Dude, I don't know. All right, I'm just making sure.
And you got John Moxley with Darby Allin for the AEW World Championship opportunity.
Should be good. Listen, if you're trying to go to bed at 10 and watch this, you're not. This thing's going way past 10.
Yeah.
If you're looking for the reruns of Modern Family on TBS after this, it's going to be mad late because this right here could go like 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
In my opinion. In my opinion, this is the best.
I'm intrigued.
The best wrestling I think you're going to get tonight.
Yeah.
Even though Bryan Danielson may or may not actually appear, I think this is the best thing that you're going to get because I think that match is questionable.
Yep.
This one should be good. I don't think Mox should win.
I think Mox. I mean, I agree, but I think Mox is going to win.
I kind of hate that though.
No, I don't know, but he's way too overpowered right now. He's essentially running. Let me ask you this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We've teased this with the way that Mox is acting and this whole new regime with Maria Shafir and everything, and they're just, this isn't your company anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Is tonight the night that we see possibly Shane McMahon?
It's a Wednesday.
You're at Arthur Ashe.
Dude, if you bring
Slam.
out Shane McMahon on a Wednesday, Tony Khan, figure it out. Dude, it's Wednesday. Not to be a hater, do the ratings drop every week? Why the hell are you doing this on a Wednesday? I understand you're trying to spark something.
To boost those ratings.
I get it. It's still a Wednesday. Holy crap.
I think there's still, if he does make an appearance, I still think you got to tell a lot more of the story of why Mox is doing what he's doing.
Yes.
But I just threw it out there. It's a special event.
Maybe.
You're at Arthur Ashe Stadium.
I will say it's a better chance here than anything else in the next little bit.
Correct.
So if it's not now, it's going to be a minute.
Yes.
Or they'll do it on a random Saturday that they record on Thursday. No big deal.
AW Collision.
Yeah, it'll be something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I really hope Brian's not clear. Just to be real with you. I hope they start off the show with Brian's I'm actually dead.
Dude, so here's the thing that people only the diehards get how good Nigel McGuinness really was.
True.
But this is the problem. AEW, it's such a niche wrestling thing right now where I feel like the casual person's going to see this match and go, wait, what? Why? I appreciate it.
Why?
Well, yeah, for sure. And I'll be honest, I don't really know much about Nigel McGuinness' career. I looked it up a little bit. Okay, the dude's actually pretty legit, and hopefully he can come out and put a great showcase together. But if you're trying to get that casual wrestling fan, yeah, I feel like they're not going to come along with you with Nigel McGuinness in this match.
I'll pass just to be real with you.
Yeah.
I honestly hope there's something that doesn't happen because it just doesn't make any sense. Because the one thing you absolutely know is Bryan Danielson is winning if he wrestles.
Correct.
Because once he loses it, he's gone.
Yep.
He's not dropping it there. So there's no point to do this. Unless you're bringing Christian Cage out right after it happens.
True.
But again, it's Wednesday.
I know. Or maybe Nigel's walking to the ring and John Moxley jumps him. Rhea Shafir does the shoulder slam, and then all of a sudden here's Shane O'Mac going, I'll take it from here. And Shane O'Mac wrestles Bryan Danielson, becomes the champion.
It'd be kind of sick, but also I'd be annoyed.
I would see my level of being annoyed would match my holy crap. What did we just witness?
Agreed.
Yeah,
very much agreed. All right, we got to go.
All right, man.
Scraphouse. We'll do it again next week.
See ya.